let me just say it right here. Summer 2020 cancelled. Now rest assured, obviously you will have great times, fun times even during this particular summer as well, but let's be honest about it. Coronavirus pretty much fucked it all, being that many fests that was supposedly take place during the summer, even earlier in the spring and open the kind of a summer season, they all get cancelled, and as such the result is rather non-metallic. That is when we're talking about the live stuff. Now originally I was going to talk a little bit different topic because I have had, for example, my NSBM video part 2 in the making, but to be honest, it's really bad time, especially from the Scandinavian countries or Nordic countries, to make a video when everybody's pretty much boozing, getting wasted in random places, maybe screwing around with their significant others or making new romantic or sexual endeavors, and people in general are spending their time anywhere but besides the screen. And rightfully so, to be honest, even with these festivals getting cancelled. So instead, I decided to postpone that stuff and just talk about summertime, not so much about metal, but also what metal means in terms of summer. Now, traditionally, people here on Rauta are all about extreme metal and even more so about black metal. And that kind of brings me to the topic of today, which is about, once again, being about summertime metal, and whatever. Of course, if you just come from different background, maybe death metal, thrash metal, heavy metal, doom metal, power metal, or just some other kind of metal and black metal, maybe you're not so inclined about being grim, anti-sun and all that stuff. But black metal especially has had this kind of a particularly weird relationship with the sun. Now in many cultures, sun is seen as kind of a god or godlike power. After all, without it, this planet wouldn't be here, we wouldn't have life and all that stuff. Be it plants or animals or whatever organic, we kind of need the sunlight, and in general it actually boosts up our energy levels and gives us vitamins and all that stuff. Now this is not a nutrition speech, I'm merely saying that sometimes summer and sun particularly kind of affects our mind, and even as such kind of can have an impact to what kind of music we're listening to. Obviously there will be always people listening to Immortal or bands like Istop, which is anti-sun, anti-light, anti-whatever warmth and all about ice and icicles and snow and who knows what. But people, even with the more extreme metal taste, happen to kind of switch to a different gear when it's summertime and the sun is kind of inviting people into parks and public places to enjoy, I don't know, beer or different kind of summer beverages to kind of relax and have a good mood. So that's not exactly the depressive, suicidal black metal music stuff what you're maybe listening. You probably don't tune for Cassandra or Leviathan or even more kind of a melancholic or depressive shining tunes when you're about to have your pack of cold beer, having some friends, maybe barbecue, I don't know, maybe doing some goofy stuff, play summer fun time activities, or I don't know, just sitting around on the lawn and, you know, enjoying that cold beer. Then again, I'm sure there are lots of people who just want to close the curtains, do everything they can in their power to make the room as dark and cool and comfortable as possible, and just, I don't know, watch Netflix or listen to just some gloomy doomy evil sinister metal and just kind of get away from people. And that's totally fine again as well. I mean, we're not all social people, extroverts or whatnot. Some people just prefer to stay, you know, just alone, away from the rest of the living beings, and that is totally fine. But sometimes, like said, so many extreme metalheads, they might just switch their Burzum or Darkthrone albums and put some, I don't know, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, or hell, even Slayer into music equipment, players, whatever kind of stuff, and just shift to a different place and mindset. And that is something that happens to quite a few of us. I mean, lots of us want to go out festivals. We might be just like, I don't really like mainstream metal festivals. I like my underground black metal and those death metal bands nobody but me has even heard of. But when we just have these kind of a social gear shifted and we just want to go relax and stuff like that, hey, we might even do a little bit of skinny dipping. We might go to sauna. We might do some barbecue. And in general, just kind of a tune ourselves off from the rather dark and sinister, murky mindset and just be kind of a normal people. Well, normal at least in the sense of being a metalhead. Now, whatever your thing is, I think this summertime is kind of cool in the different sense than, winter times. Especially those dark and very dark, kind of moist, rainy seasons of fall and cold, grim and snowy, icy seasons of winter. I mean, they can be really, really inspiring in so many other ways. Maybe they are the kind of seasons when you actually start grabbing your guitar for some more sinister kind of riffs. Maybe you tune all the way to your melancholic mindset and write a set of lyrics when that thing of cold air is there to inspire you, when there is no sun up whatsoever. For example, in this case, Nordic countries are really cool examples. I'm not saying other countries don't have this or different hemispheres or whatever, but Nordic countries especially the northern parts of Nordic countries, Norway, Sweden, Finland, Iceland, places like that, northern Russia, for example, Canada, Alaska from United States, we have the so-called sunless days, That's exactly in around Christmas season, that is winter, it's not equinox, but, time when the sun really don't even come up. You basically had 24 dark times, So it's very depressive but also very inspirational season for people to tune in for that dark stuff. And exactly the opposite is during this midsummer time, that is around these days when this video is coming out, when the sun doesn't exactly go down. For example, if you go to Laplandish part of Finland, Lapland being the very, very north part of Finland, also Sweden and Norway are right there, and they have these days when the sun doesn't go down at all. So basically it's like 24/7 a daytime, which is then again good for boozing or whatever activities you might have when it's kind of warm and you just feel there, you just enjoy, be it a seaside or, I don't know, forests and woods and maybe some mountains, fields or whatever, you do your thing. And it's kind of also rather inspiring thing, because actually all these changes, these actual different seasons we have here, I mean, they kind of attune us for a different mindset. And that can be very much inspiring thing, not only in the terms of what you listen to, but what you write down as a musician, as a lyricist, as a poet, I don't know, whatever you are. And even if you don't write your own music, even if you don't write lyrics, even if you don't write any kind of notes, even on social media, it can be a very inspiring thing to just explore different kind of music. And in my opinion, that can be a really great thing. Because, for instance, if I go for a jog or cycling, I don't do them much these days, I gotta admit that. But even if I go to the gym, my mindset is very different than if I'm just listening to some music here in the, midnight hours, doing some stuff on the computer, be it for a Rauta channel or just something else. So if I go to the gym, I don't put my Burzum on because it's not really the right tempo, the right kind of aggressiveness or energizing stuff. And the same applies to different kind of seasons, with outside there. So if I go outside with my friends, it might be more about this kind of a good mood stuff. I know it might sound kind of preposterous or just weird. I thought you were a black metalhead. I am disappointed that you listen to something else than just black metal. And I'm like, sorry. Yeah, we're a different kind. The thing here is, instead of just fighting our natural instinct and our kind of biological pointers. It might be really enlightening for us to just explore these different sets. Maybe you will, during your times of boozing around, listen to some music your friend is gonna introduce yourself to, because he or she might feel like it's a different kind of stuff which is more suitable for, I don't know, your drinking habits, instead of all the way going down to the winter kind of music, and vice versa. Even if you take a look at this video during next Christmas or something like that, you might feel the same kind of idea, but kind of inverted. So instead of going to your happy lucky tunes with your Manowar kind of energetic tunes of swords and dragons and leather pants and motorcycles, you might be all about, yeah, it's winter time, snow and ice. Who gives a damn about those motorcycles? I'm just about to write the grimmest tune of them all because it's so goddamn dark. So instead of fighting these different seasons and the different kind of phases of the year, be it the springtime when the plants are just kind of start growing again, and the ice and the snow is just kind of like going away, which is kind of a happy thing, especially if you have to do your own yard work with all that stuff, or be it fall time or summertime. It can be really inspiring to just give yourself a kind of a more perspective. But long enough rant right now. Just enjoy your summertime, explore different kind of tunes, and see if you can find something else, rather than going back to those same CDs and LPs and tapes or MP3 files you've been listening to the past 10 or 20 years. It's always a good time to find new bands, be it grim, be it happy, be it just, whatever. And I'll promise I'll come back later on with that NSPM video, and also a video about Steel Chaos 2020, because the good thing is with this summer, at least here in Finland, COVID is kind of going away slowly, and at least this point it seems like during the next fall we will start having those festivals and gigs again, so good times ahead. Meanwhile, enjoy your summer, drink some good stuff, maybe cold beer if you were me anyway. Take care and enjoy your summer. Rauta going out.